Well, our reporter Vuyo Macoba is outside of Loftus because Banyana have a tough final hurdle to get over if they are to book their ticket to the Paris Olympic Games. They have to overturn a 1-0 deficit against their arch rivals Nigeria. And Vuyo, I suppose South Africa, while they have had superior results in recent years over the Super Falcons, they're going to have to be a lot better at home if they are to book that ticket to France.
Good evening to you, Valen, and to the Newzroom Afrika viewers. Certainly, they're going to need to make sure that they are much better than the Super Falcons tonight here at Loftus Stadium, because it's a tough hurdle that they are facing. As Coach Desiree Ellis just mentioned in this bite, that they're going to need to step up their game as a reflection or as a return to how they played in the first leg in Abuja last Friday, where they lost the first leg by 1-0. So what Banyana Banyana needs to do today is to make sure, of course, that Nigeria doesn't score here at Loftus Stadium, while they also try to push a 2-goal margin that will then secure them at least one of those spots that are available for the African teams at the 2024 Olympic Games, which are happening in Paris later this year. Now, we cannot stress just how important or the magnitude of this game tonight. Some of the headlines had already been writing that it's the mother of all battles, because you know the history when it comes to these two nations, Nigeria and South Africa. It's the top-ranked team in Nigeria, of course, tonight facing against the second-ranked team on the continent, which is also the reigning champions or the reigning WAFCON champions. So we're expecting a really tough battle going into at Loftus Stadium, with kickoff set for 7:30 p.m. Now, I've got somebody who understands, who has been in the background of Banyana Banyana and has been writing about this national team in their journey in this competition to give us a sense of what type of match that we are going to when we are calling it the mother of all battles. From Center Circle, Matlomula Moroka. Mr. Moroka, appreciate your time on Newzroom Africa. We just cannot stress just how important this game is for Banyana Banyana, is for South Africans football, especially on the women's side, especially when you look at just what the women's team has been able to achieve over just the past years, being at the World Cup, winning WAFCON, and now this is another global space that they can go into and showcase just how much of an African giant that they are.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this match has been called many things. Mother of all battles, Clash of the Titans, the final before the final. So it clearly shows that these are two big teams on the African continent. Number one, Nigeria, and number two, South Africa. South Africa, the African champions. Nigeria are the 9-time AFCON champions. So it clearly shows that this is the biggest match on the African continent when it comes to women's football. So yes, the importance of this match that will be played here in about an hour's time or so, it clearly indicates that these two teams are so hungry and thirsty to get back onto the global stage, because the last time Nigeria was at the Olympic Games, it was in Beijing 2008 and since then they haven't had that opportunity. South Africa missed out on Tokyo 2020 after losing to Botswana, we all know, through penalties. But be that as it may, whoever wins tonight, and obviously my heart is with South Africa, but whoever wins tonight will deservedly will be worthy of representing the African continent at the global space.
And maybe just to give us an understanding, I mean, we see WAFCON a huge space for women's football. We see the FIFA World Cup, which we then played down under. Where does the Olympics rate when it comes to that spectrum in terms of important tournaments for women's football in the world?
Every major team or every big team or every big nation, footballing nation that plays football, they want to be at the World Cup, they want to be at the Olympics. If you add both, it means that you have a chance to actually develop your players, because the more you play globally, the better your nation becomes, the better your players become. And I mean, if you look at the Nigerian squad currently, they've got 20 players that are playing abroad. Only 2 are based in Nigeria. And whereas with South Africa, it's a low number. About 7 of South Africans are playing abroad. So which clearly shows that over the last few years, South Africa has greatly improved. Yes, we still have some other players that are playing abroad, but they're not in the team. But playing at the global space, at the bigger space, that is the Olympic Games, is very important for the development of the team, for the development of the country, but also for the players to be out there, to be seen. I mean, there are so many scouts when you go to these tournaments, and some players have actually been picked from those tournaments, from the World Cup, from the WAFCON as well, and even from COSAFA. So it's important that big footballing nations, South Africa, Nigeria, Morocco, Zambia, they play in these big stages so that the players can be seen, and also for the development of players in the country.
We keep mentioning just how much of a task it is going to be for Banyana Banyana tonight because of that one goal that they lost to in the first leg. But it's not an impossible mission. That's the thing. I keep saying Coach Desiree Ellis has also been saying that it's not going to be an impossible mission. Coach Captain Refilwe Chan has also, said that a battle with Nigeria is one of a war, as she has stated. But how tough could it be tonight for Banyana, or how could it be as well, in a sense that it's a home game for them being here at Loftus?
We can never overemphasize the difficulty that's going to be tonight here for both teams, by the way. That Nigeria is leading 1-0 is neither here nor there, because it's a very slender lead. And the Nigerians, I can tell you now, they're also anxious about the outcome. And I'm on a WhatsApp group with some journalists from the continent. And they've been saying that they're actually very worried about South Africa, especially South Africa playing at home with the speedy forwards, your Tembi, your Jermaine, your Hilda. So it's going to be a big battle. It's going to be a huge battle for these two teams. And please bear in mind that it's been done before. Banyana Banyana in the last 5 matches against Nigeria, they've won 3 times. Yeah. So clearly it is possible that Banyana Banyana can overturn it here. And if you perhaps saw the match on Friday, the first leg, Banyana Banyana didn't get into the rhythm until in the second half. So here they've got a chance to actually start the match and be dominant. But what's important is that they must never allow themselves to concede. Should that happen, then it's going to spell trouble. But also, Nigeria, with their 1-goal lead, they will not sit back, because they know that if South Africa scores, anything can happen. They could get more goals. And also, just maybe to wrap up that question, is to say that should it end in an aggregated draw, it's 30 minutes of extra time, and then they go to penalties. But you don't want to go to penalties, because Nadozi of Nigeria, she plays for Paris FC in France. She's been excellent in penalties. I'm not taking anything away from Kalen, our goalkeeper at Banyana Banyana, but Nadozi has been excellent in penalties. So you don't want the match to get there. We're hoping that your Tembis, your Lindas, your Jermaine, they actually get a goal or two, so as to settle the nerves, because this is the mother of all battles.
Macoba, appreciate your time and appreciate, of course, your insights. I know you still got a long job awaiting you as the stadium announcer tonight. Are we going to see you dancing?
No way. That's not me. Remember, I'm also anxious. I'm also a bit nervous. But I have belief in the girls that they'll do well.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. See you tonight. Centre Circle's Macoba just giving us a sense of the importance of tonight's match. Banyana Banyana versus Nigeria. Of course, Nigeria leading this 2-legged 4th round with a 1 goal that they scored in Abuja last Friday. Of course, tonight, the other king, the call-up is for fans to still make their way to the stadium tonight at Loftus Stadium to support Banyana Banyana, give their backing to the national side. We're going to reach back to you in the next hour, touching base with some of the fans that would have made it here in the capital to give support to Banyana Banyana. It's back to you in studio.